What's up? Welcome back to the At the Buzzer podcast. I'm DC and I'm here with
G Money.
Colin.
man. First episode of season 5, bro. Technically second, but last week's episode had a little bit of technical difficulties. But we back. It was a long break. A lot happened in the sports world over break. But we back on campus. We just finished our second week at Ball State. Back on campus, but we in the middle of the playoff season, football and NFL and college football. Let's just dive right into the NFL. We just had the wild card round this past weekend. Let's give our thoughts. Let's start with the AFC. Let's go Houston versus Los Angeles.
Not too shocked about that one. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like Jim Harbaugh. I feel like give him about another year or two, and I feel like they're gonna be in the playoffs next year. But I think they give him about a few years and they'll take that step further. But I just feel like they just need more weapons, in my opinion. Like you need more weapons for Herbie.
Right.
Like
Ladd McConkey.
Ladarius, he gonna do his thing, but you feel me? He need more. Like
That's
Justin
it.
Herbert,
Right.
he's a great talent. He just need more than what he been having.
Man, get Quentin Johnson out the league, bro.
Hey, I love when they pull up his drive clip when he be talking about his mama can retire now. They said, "Mama need to go ahead and clock back in."
Man, bro can't even catch a cold, bro.
Whoa.
Like, he be wide open. It goes straight through his hands. Like, if I was Justin Herbert, I might smack him when we get to the sideline every time.
It's terrible, bro. And I feel like when he first entered the draft from TCU, I'm pretty sure like Steve Smith Senior did like an evaluation on him, and like
Yeah, I
that
remember
was
you
like
telling me
one of
about
the
that.
things that he was saying about him, and everybody's getting on his head. Like Quentin Johnson's whole family was getting mad at Steve Smith, going at him the whole time. He was right.
Yeah.
So it's like, what y'all gonna say? Tell Auntie clock back in.
Bro was definitely a CFP merchant, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Also, I mean, I'm not saying it's Herbert's fault. Like, you got to show up. You got to be a bit better than that in a primetime game. And, like, the one that went through the wide receiver hands, cool. We can give you a pass for that.
Right.
But a couple of those picks were, like, Herbert mistakes. And he's known for being one of the most efficient quarterbacks
He
in
had
the
the
league.
least amount of picks throughout the entire season.
Exactly.
In the whole league. And then
So-
he threw more picks on Saturday than he threw all season. That's so crazy.
Exactly, and I get it. Like it's playoff football. That doesn't mean he's a bad quarterback. That doesn't mean he's a playoff choker. He had a rough performance. Now, if that continues to happen, okay, then maybe the label makes a little bit more sense. But strictly for that night, he didn't show up in the way that they needed him to. And like you said, when you don't got those weapons, you can't play explosive football. You cannot turn the football over, especially not 4 times in a playoff game.
Shout out DeMeco Ryans, though, man. 2-1 in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Dog.
Just now became a head coach.
Yep.
He a dog.
Shout out him, man. The divisional matchup, the matchup within their division, Baltimore and Pittsburgh. That one went exactly how we knew it was going to go.
Bill.
Pittsburgh offense is so
Terrible.
trash, bro.
So
Like
bad.
it's bad. At that point, you might as well put Justin Fields in. Like the damage is already done to y'all offense,
Right.
bro. Like he can't be that much worse for us.
And at least he give you an elite running threat at the quarterback position. That's another dynamic to the offense that at this stage in his career, Russ doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
But we going to talk about Mike Tomlin, man. Like,
He get him there, but he can't do nothing else.
he's never had a losing season, don't get me wrong, but y'all go 9-7, 10-6, 10-7 or whatever every year and then get dropped first round.
You got to ask yourself as a franchise, what's our goals? Are we okay with making the playoffs every year but getting bounced in the first round? Like, I don't know how many people set out on something and be like, I want to be a B- type of team, or I want to be a B- type of guy. Like, you doing just what you need to get past the cutoff. So
Every year.
Maybe that is moving Tomlin away. Maybe it is going out spending some big dollars to get big name talent in there. But yeah, great, phenomenal that you're not losing. And I know I don't mean that in a sarcastic way at all. But you got to turn in some playoff results at some point.
Yeah, literally. I mean, I won't say they're the definition of mid because, I mean, they get to the playoffs every year, but
Slightly.
They the definition of consistent. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's like they don't just get to the playoffs and lose. They get smacked like every time.
Right.
It's bad. Buffalo and Denver. That one also went how we knew it was going to go. I saw someone post on Twitter that after that first drive, Sean Payton and Bo Nix turned into SpongeBob and Patrick when they had the wood on their head, bro. Because that first drive, the play designs are always great, and it usually ends in a tud. But
Exactly.
after that, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. Once that script runs out
boy.
and teams start adjusting, you got to think on the fly.
They
Sean
said,
Payton been getting fraud checked these last couple of years, man. Get that diamond tester out.
This shit fake.
I will say, though, man, I kind of want to give a shout-out to Bo Nix because I thought he was going to be trash in the league. But, I mean, he did get them to the playoffs rookie year.
I did, too.
And he played pretty well, too.
Yeah.
So, shout-out Bo Picks, man. How about your Packers, man? I know you already knew this was going to happen, but how does it feel that your season is over?
What made that miss, Colin?
Yo, I mean, yeah, like you said, knew it was coming, bro. But Jordan Love, my dog, you can't be throwing picks like that in a playoff game. I just, disappointed on all fronts. Part of it that we couldn't control. We had injury sliders on 100. Everyone was going down every other play, bro. And there's just not much you can do about that as a team. Love's turnovers. You can't go on the road and do that. And then we couldn't really set up a run game. Josh Jacobs ran one big, but past that, very minimal on the ground. And we really do. We need that wide receiver one.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to go out and get that guy. I don't think Christian Watson is that guy that they thought he'd be. So, Devontae Adams, we need you, man. Come back home, bro.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
We miss you, big dog.
They bring Devontae Adams back to Green Bay. They're going to start playing Outstanding by the Gap Band. The washed anthem, bro.
Hold on, man.
My dog ain't washed,
Hey,
bro.
listen,
He
man.
not washed? We ain't just watched
No.
the Jet season, bro?
He not washed. Washed is crazy.
He not washed.
Don't say he top 3, though. Do not say he top 3 anymore.
He's still definitely top 10.
Okay, I'll go top 2.
Bro, Devontae Adams route running is, bro,
It's crazy.
we not finna
Hands is
disrespect.
dropping, though. The hands is dropping.
He had a couple
His
of
route running is
highlight.
always going to be that, though. I mean, of
He had a
course,
couple
Devontae
highlight
Adams.
real bad drops, and I think that's what stood out. But I still think he's elite.
The film work still something
Crazy.
crazy. I don't care. Devontae Adams is still that.
While we talking about the Jets, though, is Aaron Rodgers officially washed?
Hell yeah.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Yeah,
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Washed is a strong term, man.
Is it, though? What did they go, 5-12?
I will say Aaron did look washed this year. That
It was bad.
I couldn't. Phew.
Being a part of Aaron Rodgers' marketing team for a long time, you gotta. It might be time to hang it up. I don't want to see you go out, like one of the bums and play 5 more years than you should. Just hang it up, while we still got a somewhat solid view of you on the field.
What is that, 2 MVPs in the ring?
4
3?
MVPs.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying.
He needs to just
4.
retire and get hot.
4, yeah.
Just retire and smoke your life away.
I mean, he already doing it, though. So
That's what I'm saying, but
what's going to change?
Hey,
Just go get in your dark cave and take your swing, bro.
That's
Kirk
what I'm saying.
Rogers, man. That's
Hey, Park Rogers.
Rogers.
Park Rogers had the night.
Bro, that one post-game interview, bro, he's gone. He don't even know what field he on right
He be
now.
cooked.
Oh, you sure?
He be too cooked.
Also, while we on the Jets, before I move on, y'all see that they offered Robert Saleh the richest defensive coordinator contract ever for him to stay on as a DC.
Yeah.
Would y'all? I mean, because he got fired or demoted as head coach. Would y'all stay on for?
I
that
feel like
DC
you gotta
job?
be real humble. Like you gotta be able to swallow your pride. Do something like that. You gotta be able to swallow your pride. Personally, I'm not in his shoes, but I would like to say personally, I would do it.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, if you have a great year, you're gonna get offers again to be a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a really good defensive minded coach.
He is.
I mean, we've seen it. The Jets' defense was
elite.
like the past how many years was he at coach? 3, 4?
Mm-hmm.
The defense was always one of the best in the league.
Right.
Now, offensively, don't give him the keys.
No. But also, I think it does matter that he was dumped into one of the most dysfunctional organizations in the league.
True.
And, even though I am part of Rodgers' marketing team, like, I can admit that he's not exactly the easiest quarterback to incorporate into what you got going on. And so you got the battle between him and the owners, and Saleh just kind of like the third party there, just kind of taking the worst of it.
Yeah.
So I still don't I don't think the jury is bad on him as a head coach. Like you said, get a good year in as a DC, prop their defense back up, and a lot of organizations will be calling his number, trying to get him to run there. So
I don't know, man. Like every time I think of him as a head coach, like you saying he wasn't a bad one or whatever, it just makes me think of the whole Zach Wilson mess. How he said when Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles, he was all right, season's over. Like he didn't even put no faith in Zach Wilson. Like don't be wrong, it is Zach Wilson. He's not that good, but you gotta give him at least a game or two before you come out and say that, or at least, I mean, don't even say that at all.
I was about to say, don't say that to the media.
But we'll see what he does with it. Back to the wild card reactions. Rams beat Minnesota, man. I called it. Y'all ain't hear it on the pod because it didn't come out.
Right.
But I called it. I knew Sam Darnold diamonds was gonna be fake, bro.
Them boys real fake.
The Rams defense had that boy in hell. He didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, you have a pick, a fumble, and he got sacked like 9 times.
9 times.
That's wicked work.
That's why you
JJ McCarthy on the sideline, cheesing. You know his job.
He know he coming back next year. Yup.
You better not be laughing too much.
I'm about to say his dog gonna get tested too.
Right.
Shit gonna be fake.
You can't play handoff ball all
I'm
game
about to
long.
say, once they
It
start
may
that
not
run,
be that easy,
and
brother.
you can't cheat.
Right.
His dog is gonna be real fake too.
Yeah.
We're gonna see.
So it just looked like a whole bunch of frauds on that sideline. Like
Everybody but Jay Jets and Addison, man. Honestly,
exactly.
Everybody else, fraud watch.
Right. So yeah, I hope JJ the best, but I don't see the outcome being much different. Which is such a waste of a pick in the draft.
Yeah, they could have got something better. They could have got something better, and just waited till like this draft or something.
I mean, hey, shout out to them. That was a good season.
It was cool.
They only lost to the same 2 teams.
Everybody had a good season until they get to that playoffs.
Exactly.
Right. Cinematic classic. Jaden Daniels' first playoff game ever.
Tough.
And he won it.
Tough.
That young man is different.
Different. Yeah.
Bro, the kicker, though, how he adjusted his hair like
Finna put his helmet on. Hold on. I ain't never seen
he really
somebody
missed. Like the doinks, bro. I mean, it went in, don't get me wrong, but he really missed.
I ain't never seen nobody that nervous getting ready to kick a field goal. Like the way he is finna put his helmet on and had to take it back off just so he keep doing his hair. And it's like, bro, your hair not even moving. Like
he
what
had
is he
that
doing?
stadium post all the way up.
That thing was
All the way up.
Camera was shaking bad.
his legs probably was shaking before he kicked it. He probably sitting there.
It's crazy that Washington's last 5 or 6 wins was all in the last play of the game. Like, is that luck?
No.
Or do they work on that, bro?
No.
Because
I feel like this, you gotta have a clutch gene to keep doing
exactly.
that. You gotta have some clutch genes.
And I don't know, you just see certain people that continue to excel in moments like that. And Daniel seems to be that type of guy.
yeah,
Like, for a minute there, and I'm not saying it's still not the case, but that next guy seemed to be Joe Burrow. Like every time it came to crunch time, Joe Burrow gonna hoop, and that was just it was incredible, regardless of what the circumstance was. But it seems like Jaden Daniels is cut from that cloth too, so it's amazing to see that. Bro.
So that stuff you can't teach, but that's just having pure dog in you.
Exactly.
So on to the divisional round. Is that clutch gene? Is that luck? Is Washington, can they take that into Detroit? Or
No.
I don't think so.
Pure belt?
Pure belt.
Ain't gonna be no clutch spot they gonna be in. They just gonna get their shit away.
is there any chance for upset? Do y'all think?
Yeah,
There's a chance.
slight chance.
It's a very slight chance, but Jaden Daniels is going to have a perfect game. You know,
Terry got to get 100 yards.
exactly, because the Lions' defense, especially the secondary, is really iffy right now because they got a lot of injuries back there, and then they got a few guys on the line that's hurt, so you may not be able to generate the same type of pressure. So Terry McLaurin has got to cook all night long. It's absolutely mandatory.
He got to. Like, ain't no other choice. That's the only way they win.
You got to play ball.
He got to play ball.
Out of who?
Because they defense, hey, Sonic might run through. Sonic gonna be going everywhere.
Can the Rams keep it up and upset Philly too? In Philly?
I think they got a good chance. I don't think it's gonna happen though. But at the same time, I don't know.
Matthew Stafford, another underdog, runs to the ball?
If Jalen Hurts play like he did versus the Packers, it's a real possibility.
He not throwing, bro. Like if they
Jalen Hurts he don't move the needle for me, bro. Like, I've been wanting to call him an elite QB, but I don't think he is.
too inconsistent, in my opinion.
Too inconsistent, and like, what more can you ask for in terms of a situation? You know, I feel like it's similar to the issue people have with Tatum. Like, you got the best spacing, great offensive mind, and still at some of these moments, you don't look like the top tier guys.
Right.
You know, you got the best offensive line, you got 2 dynamite wide receivers, the best performing running back in the game. A lot of pressure's off you. You just got to make simple throws, and that's not happening.
Yeah. And then on the other side, you got a proven QB who was on one of the worst teams like ever, and he was still putting up great numbers. Then he finally got to a winning team and won the ball that year.
That's a dog right there.
So it's going to be hard to count Stafford out.
Yeah.
Always.
And then another layer, we talked about it last time, but the generating that pressure, like, we got to talk about the football mind of Sean McVay versus Nick Sirianni. That's a mop.
Mm-hmm.
That's not close. And so if I'm betting on someone to outcoach someone in the game, I'm picking Sean McVay every single time. Not close, especially when it comes to Nick Sirianni. So
I feel that. So, final prediction. Who we got? Upset or Philly going back to the NFC Championship?
Rams.
I got Philly going back.
I'm on the fence, but I'm going to go Philly. Just because, Saquon's looking like one of the best players in football right now.
Actually.
So,
I'm going with the Rams.
I don't see the Rams stopping him, really. But, like I said, you can't really count Stafford or McVay out. So, that one's going to be a good one, I think.
For sure.
On the AFC side, the last 4 teams are the same 4 teams from last season. We got Houston going into Kansas City. How would you feel about that one?
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
It hurts to say it, doesn't it, bro?
I would like to say Houston, but this the time where Mahomes and Travis they like to turn up.
Yeah.
Like to turn up.
And how we were talking about Sean McVay, Andy Reid. You know he gonna cook in the playoffs.
He's different, man.
You know he gonna cook.
He's different.
Yeah.
And it's a home game. It's gonna be cold.
Yeah, CJ ain't really been looking too.
Right.
Yeah,
bro.
And his weapons is hurt. Yeah.
It's
It's
not
like-
looking good.
it's like
It's
KC
not
going
looking
back
good.
KC going back to the AFC.
On the other side, though, instant classic. Hopefully, we got the 2 MVP candidates. Everybody says you can flip a coin and then pick one and you wouldn't be wrong, but
You can.
I think you should. It has to be Lamar again.
It got
It has
But-
to be.
it got to be. Josh been who though?
It's
He
like
has been.
I kind of want to say I wouldn't be mad if they gave it to Josh, although I would because it should be Lamar's. But Josh Allen been balling this season.
He has, but like, by what definable metric has he actually been better than Lamar?
Exactly.
Lamar statistically is passed him up in all the categories while turning the ball over less than he had. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
And
for a guy
they
that's
had
not
the
quarterbacky,
Right, literally.
It's pretty quarterback.
right?
They told this man he's a chance receiver after they watched his Heisman season.
You're racist.
Like,
You're racist.
just say you don't like black people and move on. It's that easy. But, yeah, I'm excited to watch that one, though.
Mm-hmm.
They said it's gonna be like Lamar walking through Selma.
It is in Buffalo. Yeah, I forgot it was in
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Finna have snowballs hitting him in his face while he trying to throw.
Bro, there was a Bills fan on TikTok live or something. He said, I hate playing the Ravens because they act so inwardy. I'm like, bro,
What?
you can't say this, bro.
Ain't nobody tell him that, bro.
Like, so it just makes you wish the worst on the Bills, which sucks because I really like Josh Allen, bro.
Bro, you just gotta look at their tailgates. There's like 5 functioning brain cells in the entire parking lot.
They literally do Jeff Hardy swanton bombs on the table, bro. And mitts.
The only thing that hit the table is they kneecaps and down.
Or they head. Literally just their head.
Most of their body just be off the table.
Be a whole case of beer deep.
They be too drunk, bro. Yeah, I need the Ravens to win.
Fingers freezing off and everything, bro.
I need the
They
Ravens
still got
to
it in their
win.
heart to be racist.
Exactly.
That's so crazy.
Ain't gonna forget that part.
Racism don't stop for nothing, man.
I swear it don't. Like, racism don't exist. Like, it shouldn't exist at all. But, like, it definitely should not exist in sports, bro. Like, come
Right.
on, bro. It's a game. Like, everybody trying to play the game. You need to get off that.
So we going Ravens.
Yeah.
Is it a
Yeah.
close one or they putting belt again?
I think it's gonna be Belt. I think Lamar snatches his chain. Like it's
Think so?
gonna be, I think Lamar put a stamp.
I
on
think
it.
this is going to be the game that, like, this is my shit. Like, give me that MVP.
Who walks out of this with the playoff rushing record, though, for a QB? Because Josh just passed Lamar this past weekend by like a few yards or something. Who y'all
It
think
don't
he go?
even matter. Lamar getting the MVP, but I'd probably say Josh think. I don't know. Like I said, this might be Lamar game where he really give me that MVP. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna go more. I'm gonna go more.
I'm not gonna be different. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I'm hoping he don't go up there and lose, bro.
They can't. Bro.
You better not get on social media after that
Can't.
happen.
You can. Especially if they still give him the MVP. Oh, man.
Well,
Them conversations gonna be
It's
so
gonna be
racist,
bad.
bro.
It's gonna be bad. Man. Do you remember when Boston they lost and the Celtics fans was in the comments? It was the one game they lost in the finals, and they had put all the Mavericks players in KKK.
what? Yeah, that's crazy.
They had Drew Holiday in the middle, bro. Like,
Bro, Boston is so racist, bro. Like, the city itself, I hate it. Yeah, I'm excited about this weekend's matchups, though. I'm excited to give FanDuel some money, too. But let's go to the CFP. How do we feel about the semifinals? I think the Notre Dame and Penn State game was pretty good.
It was.
That was a
Two
good defensive matchup.
Mid
Yeah.
offenses. I'm saying
You called
mid to
that.
be nice.
yeah,
Two mid ass quarterbacks. I'm saying mid to be nice.
Bro,
But-
Riley Leonard throwing the ball is so terrible. I'm not gonna lie. Until it matters, though. I'll give it to him. When it matters, he is gonna dot it.
I swear to you, like, I'm not trying to sound like LeBron, but I swear to y'all, when I saw Drew Allard go out there for that drive in the final minutes, I said, I swear to God, if I'm lying, I'll die. I said, he's about to throw a dumbass pick to lose to the game.
Me and my homie, we was watching
Right.
the game. I said, he gonna go for 70. And he got 70. I was like, why not get 80? Shut up.
I promise to God, I said Drew Allard for throwing the pick to lose the game. As soon as I said that, bro, he stepped. Because once he started taking too long, I'm like, oh yeah, like, I'm right. He about to throw a pick. He threw it. I'm like, he's so stupid, bro. And they be looking so shocked when they throw it too. I'm like, bro, no.
Why
you're not
would you
shocked.
throw that? You rolling out to the left, your first and second read not there, you throw it across your body to the other side of the field in a crossing route. That's
Like,
textbook what you're not supposed to do.
Right.
Especially
stupid.
on a game-winning drive in the playoffs. He don't want to go to the league.
And you're not even down the field. You got to get down the field. I still believe that they should just ran the clock out and went to overtime.
Yeah,
Because
honestly, it was tied.
there's no way I'm putting the ball in Drew Holler's hands to go down and win the game. No, I'm not doing it, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
And shout out Marcus Freeman. That drive to get down the field, and I mean, they didn't have to go too far, but they still had to get a little. And Penn State's a great defense.
Right.
So for them to get down there and get it to be an easy field goal, that was pretty good play calling and good execution.
Yep.
That's why I say when it matters, Riley Leonard will step up. But them first 3 quarters, he not. He gonna throw them picks.
They're gonna do something.
And before I get into that, how we feel about Texas Ohio State? Did Texas really have a chance? Do y'all think?
Yes, but their offense is not like Quinn Ewers. The way he just declined is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, bro.
I feel like it's once he got injured. Like once he injured himself, he just started declining ever since. And like I ain't gonna lie to you got to give your props to Ohio State because they defense is something serious.
Yeah.
They safeties, D-line, linebacker, like everybody on their defense, like they got one of the best rosters in college football.
I want to ask you. I've been seeing this going around. Well, after the game, I saw this going around. People were blaming Quinn Ewers, but then other people were like, "No, blame Sark." Who would you blame for that loss? Because the play in question was when they marched down the field and got to the 1 yard line and could have scored. I think was it to tie it.
Bro, they stopped running after getting stopped one time. That was stupid.
So is it? So would you blame Sark for that loss?
Yes, I'm blaming Sark because as good as an offensive mind he is, bro, like he been on some BS ever since that first Georgia game. In my opinion, like they ain't looked the same. They got fraud checked and they ain't been the same since. So yeah, I feel like I'm blaming that game on Sark.
I feel like you just put Arch in because he's a big body and he can run. Just let him run a little QB sneak or something, or an option or something.
Yeah.
Not pitch it to the outside and then lose 6 yards and keep running. And then shout out Jack Sawyer though.
Well,
That was a great play.
hey, that was a great play.
Like just imagine that feeling. You grow up a diehard Ohio State fan, and then you make one of the biggest plays in Ohio State history to send the team to the national championship against your freshman year roommate.
That's
Like
fine.
that's just storybook right
Literally.
Like you can't really dream nothing better in my opinion. Like I mean you
Man.
can, but like for him, cause I feel like most people like I don't know. It's like you want to go to the league, but like I don't know. For me personally, like I always feel like playing for your dream school and making a play like that
Yeah.
is like better.
Like I mean, I used to dream about y'all know the Christian Watford shot when he hit that over
In
number 1
Kentucky?
Kentucky.
Yeah.
I used to want that to be me so bad. So I can already imagine how Jack Sawyer felt
Right.
running down the sideline with his
Mhm.
whole team behind him, yelling and everything. The crowd got so loud. Like that's what sports all about, to be honest, especially college sports.
Yeah.
That was a good play to see, even though I really hate the Ohio State. Who we got in the Natty? The two probably biggest bandwagon team in the state of Indiana. Who we got in this one?
I'm gonna go to upset. I'm gonna say Notre Dame. I know. It's crazy, but I'm gonna go to upset.
It was crazy. Is I'm picking Notre Dame too.
Oh,
I like that, bro. I'm gonna let you pick before I give my reason.
I was gonna pick Ohio State. You know,
Yeah.
I just
I feel like you can't go wrong.
Yeah,
You can't.
you pump all that money into that roster. You got all those dogs on both ends, playmakers on both ends.
Right.
For me, that's the safe. It's obviously the safe bet. So
I just feel like Marcus Allen. I feel like he gonna put Will Hurd in situations where he gonna do some dumb shit. Like once you put that heat on him, he really gonna turn.
That's what I was about to say. I
He
feel like
gonna turn
Marcus
into an
Freeman gonna
idiot.
out-coach Ryan Day.
And really, Ohio State lucky Notre Dame ain't got Benjamin Morrison. Because if they did, Jeremiah Smith might be.
Clamps.
I know it's crazy to say, but that danger might be clinched. Because the way he did Marv last year,
It's hard not to say Ohio State though. They got so many weapons on there.
I think it's going to be a good defensive game on both sides.
I hope so. I really don't want it to be built either way. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Ohio State did come out and smack them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Notre Dame defense got to do their job. They offense not. They offense, I don't even know what they offense finna do, to be honest.
Run the ball.
They
If
not
they
go
can.
nowhere. Like, the score really might be like 10-7.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I'm excited for this game, though. Good defensive ball.
Y'all think either way Ryan Day keep his job?
Nope.
I think if they win, he will. I think if they win, he will. But if they lose, yeah. Go ahead. Don't even get on the bus. Don't even get on the plane. Go ahead, stay there.
This is another good story game because Marcus Freeman played linebacker at the Ohio State. Now he's coaching Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel like if they lose, Ryan Day's fired.
You ain't gonna leave it as in Magic City.
Stay in Atlanta, bro. Don't even think about it.
He gonna try to get to that plane. Oh, what you doing?
Because, I mean, 4 straight to Michigan and no natties at all.
And, like, I got the
Most expensive roster.
Now I will say, though, like, their roster is like very homegrown. Like they ain't go out and buy many players. They just paid a bunch of their own players just to stay. So I will give them that. Like, but yeah, nah, if he don't win this, he's gonna.
So we got 2 Notre Dame and 1 Ohio State.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm hoping for a good game. Especially on MLK Day, man. I need Marcus Freeman to bring it home for the boys.
Yes,
for real.
sir.
For the whole hood.
Yes, sir.
I ain't gonna lie. If they win, bro, I think they might travel to South Bend. I don't lie. I would think about that.
I might go to downtown Nap. They gonna be up.
Yeah.
You know them bars, they gonna
Whole
be
Indiana really might go stupid if Marcus Freeman pull this up.
For real. Because, I mean, Notre Dame ain't winning that in any of our lifetimes or our parents.
Right.
But they historic
They've been in 2012, and we saw what happened.
That is a historic program, though.
Both of them. Like, I seen people say, y'all expanded it to 12 teams, and it's still 2 of the most really 4 of the most story programs still made it to the. But I'm like, they beat all the teams to get here, so.
Right. That's kind of the point.
What are we saying? But speaking of that, how do we feel about the playoff format? Because.
Change it.
Change it how? Like, what needs to change?
Like, seeding. I just feel like teams like Penn State should not get, like, now granted, I understand they play Notre Dame, but they should not get the easy path to, like, how they got it. Like, SMU at home, and then you play Boise State. I just feel like you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that path.
Really can't walk through.
So they definitely need to change the seeding. But
yeah, the SMU game, I get it. SMU was, 11? Like, that one kind of makes sense. But for Boise State to be number 3.
It's crazy.
That's insane.
come on, bro.
And I thought it was supposed to be the Power 4 conferences got the first 4 seeds, not the Mountain West winner. Who did they play besides Oregon? Who they lost to?
Like, they don't. That's BS, bro. Like, once again, they keep giving it to the deserving teams, but I mean, I could have sworn they said it was the best. It was supposed to be the best team.
Right. So how would y'all have, like, who would be the top 4 seeds from this playoff if it was like that rather than automatic conference champions?
Oregon. Georgia. I don't even like that. Hold on. I definitely got Oregon number 1 seed.
Yeah, that's undeniable. They never plug it up.
2. It's just
I think
so
it would
hard.
probably be Georgia too, because they won the SEC and they only lost twice. I think I would go Oregon, Georgia, Ohio State, and Texas.
Yeah.
And if not Texas, then Penn State or Notre Dame. But I mean that NIU loss was
Like that
really
crushed them.
bad for Notre Dame. Even though I mean,
And it's the
you
fact
see
that
they made
they
all the way to the Natty though.
it's
So.
the fact that they independent too that really be messing them up.
Right.
'Cause I ain't gonna lie, I don't like that either. But I mean, it's smart on their part though. Like
Yeah,
from
'cause,
a
I mean, they
financial
get the
standpoint.
whole $20
I'm
million.
about to say they ain't got to share with no conference. They
Ohio
get
State got to
everything.
share with 18 schools.
Like that's crazy.
Despite being a premier moneymaker.
So I give it to them financially. Yeah, it's very smart on their part. But, yeah, I just feel like it hurts them because
I like Clemson wasn't that great throughout the year. Don't get me wrong, but they shouldn't have been 12. SMU or Boise State should have been 12. And Arizona State, they fought against Texas. I mean, it went to overtime, the only overtime game, and it went to double too. But they shouldn't have been 4. They should have been like 10. I think IU was probably one of the only ones like properly ranked at 10. That's fine. I can understand 10 because I mean they lost to Ohio State badly, but they didn't really play nobody. But I mean, hey, they put belts to everybody. If they played, that's besides the point. How do y'all feel about IU fans getting so happy at their 2 losses this year? Like, because you know the only 2 teams they lost to was about to play for the national championship.
they trying to get themselves a morality win. Man, like that's crazy.
Yeah. I don't really like morality wins, to be honest. You know, y'all know I'm an IU fan, but the other part of me is like, hey, man, we the worst FBS program ever, bro. Most losses. Let us have this, bro.
Yeah, I feel like you should most definitely be happy with the season y'all had. For me, last year y'all was pure shit, but like this year y'all was actually like y'all was smooth. But the whole we lost to 2 teams for playing Netty. Like the whole little morality win with that. No,
I think the morality win aspect of it stopped, but the if they're saying that to be like, okay, y'all got to stop the disrespect on us, then that's a little different because.
So they took belts from both teams.
They did, though. Don't get me wrong. I know they both times they got dominated, though. Like, badly from start to finish, dominated.
Yeah.
But, I mean, everybody was saying they shouldn't have even sniffed the playoffs. I don't know about all that. I mean, both teams they lost to did make it all the way to the Natty.
But it's like
playoffs is
y'all
crazy.
took belts, bro, to both of them. Like that's the thing.
I agree with.
No, I know that.
I agree with definitely like Party as David. You know, from this in this current era of IU football, they deserve more respect. You had a franchise changing year. Like you can't deny that. But that still obviously don't take away like it is a loser mentality.
It is.
You know, that's just not how sports work.
That's not.
Like, why are we celebrating losses, bro?
That's crazy, bro. Like,
And I feel like if they were like 3 point, 7 point, 6 point losses, I don't know, maybe, but I mean, we got dominated from kickoff to the final buzzer.
Shouldn't sniff the playoffs. I mean, just like when in history has that ever happened? You know, like
Really, what I was like meaning by that is like after IU got shit on by Notre Dame, they should have even looked at the playoff bracket. But
yeah.
I mean, Clemson got smacked.
Yeah.
Tennessee got smacked. I'm not gonna compare ourselves to SMU, but I mean they got smacked too.
bro, I still don't think SMU should touch it either.
Oregon got
they
smacked.
shouldn't have
though.
sniffed the playoffs, bro.
But it's like Oregon got smacked too.
Yeah.
So
To your point, though, you do have to view things on that year. It's not like history shouldn't be a factor into who's in the playoffs and who isn't altogether. Like, it's your strength of schedule that year, how you play football that year. Just because y'all have been historically garbage for a very long time doesn't mean that should impact your seeding that specific year. You did. You took belt. to two great teams, but that's okay. That's football, bro.
And both of those teams put belt on the 1 and 2 seeds. So.
Exactly. So.
Man, that Ohio State game was such a hard watch, bro. And then the Notre Dame was even worse. Because what happened, bro, they came out, they got that first stop, and then marched down the field, and then Curtis Rourke, bro.
Curtis Rourke was a Heisman watch list to them games. That Ohio State game.
Notre Dame, our first drive, they get all the way within the 10-yard line. He throw a pick. And then immediately there, I knew the game was over.
Diamond got tested. Came back negative.
That was a hard watch.
I meant to text you, man, when we was watching the college football game, the playoff game with them, and they on the 2-yard line. They busted a 98-yard run. I was like,
Whoa.
yeah, Derek, go ahead, give it up, brother.
Oh, I turned it off. I'm not watching this.
Yeah, that was bad, bro. That 98-yard run. I'm like, it's
on the 2-yard line,
and
bro?
it was the first play of the drive after the pick. That's how I knew it was over.
I'm like, it's right.
Because y'all compound a terrible pick after a great drive with letting up a 98-yard touchdown. And it's not like he like did something super crazy to get that 98 yards. He just ran the ball and broke a couple tackles.
If that shit, yeah,
he
they
made
didn't
no moves,
get it.
bro.
No, like,
they couldn't even get a hand on him for real.
No, I don't remember his name, but one of them could have tackled him. He didn't.
Pissed down his leg.
Yeah.
I got scared. It's alright. I got scared too. I saw the big head dude went at me.
I'm about to get in my SEC bag right now, but I mean, hypothetically, if those weren't away games, I don't know if they would have went like that.
He said the SEC.
I mean, you know, the SEC undefeated when it comes to hypothetical games. So, sound like the Justin Herbert hypothetical.
Ooh, big time.
Nah, it is. I will say though, like, you're not wrong with the SEC hypotheticals, but I will say people act like it's so wrong to be biased towards the SEC, but it's like they've been dominating college football for most of these years. So I don't feel like SEC
Not
bias
this year,
wrong. You're right, not this year, but like any other year, come on. Like, I don't feel like
we
it's
talk
wrong.
about any other year. We talk about this past season. Is what I be saying. I hear you though. Like the last 20 national championship games, 16 of the winners were SEC or something like that. So
I don't feel like
obviously
it's wrong to
SEC
get
is the
biased.
best conference in football, but it looks like that's changing. Because the Final Four teams this year was 2 Big Ten, independent, and a first-year SEC school.
All right, you better stop playing with them Southern people. You know they crazy. They from the right. Well, are you really gonna get belts next year?
I think if IU has another winning season next year, it'll be better because they'll actually have like tests throughout the regular season besides just an Ohio State. And I guess the Michigan game barely.
Don't they play Oregon too?
At Oregon and at Penn State. That's what I mean. Like,
nah, yeah, Diamond's really finna get tested.
yeah, they play 2 really tough road games, which is what we saw this past season. Is obviously their Achilles heel. So we'll see how Coach Sig. I mean, part of me is like he needs to chill out with all that talking, but at the same time, bro.
No, that's good.
You
I
winner,
like
bro.
that. I like that.
You winner.
Hey, because he's not lying. He do win wherever he goes.
Literally every single school he went to, they won 10 games.
Not lying. So I mean, you gotta give it to him. He confident.
Shout out Coach Sig. I wish basketball team would get a coach like that. They turned firewood to at Assembly Hall.
Word on the street says they sent the SEC the best conference in basketball this year.
It is.
So is stuff changing?
It's looking like
Is
it.
times changing?
Because Big Ten is the best conference in football now.
This is times changing?
Yeah,
We're for the end, bro.
I think 4 of the top 10 teams right now is SEC. Auburn number 1, and they're like the clear number 1. But Tennessee, top 10, Florida, and Kentucky, all top 10. And Texas A&M, top 15, I think.
Damn, Bama not top 10 no more?
Oh, and Bama. I knew I was forgetting somebody. They just lost at home though.
I did see that
Forget-
to Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, yeah, that game was bad.
Ole Miss ranked though.
But they did go on the road and beat Texas A&M.
That's the thing about college basketball. That's the beauty of it. I love it because on any night anybody can win the game. Like just last night, there were a couple upsets. Gonzaga got upset by Oregon State, which is a Pac-12 game come next year.
Mm.
And Minnesota hit a logo buzzer beater to beat Michigan. That was a great game. Wonderful atmosphere. But while we still talking about SEC football, we see Carson Beck left the conference to go to the U.
Yup.
I'm pissed that Bama was trying to get him to come there. That
Really?
pissed me off.
How mad would you be if he had signed?
That I might have denounced my fan. my fan. Yeah, I would have seen the Instagram post. A long Instagram post that says I'm entering the portal, trying to decide which school I want to be a fan of next. But yeah,
Do we think he about to regain his draft stock at Miami, or is it over?
it's like I want to say no, but I feel like he's gonna be one of them quarterbacks that leave and prove me wrong. But at the same time, I'm gonna say no anyway.
You gotta stop betting against him, bro.
I am. I'm a better kid. Actually, no,
Bet
he
for
might
it.
not. He might have played in the ACC. He might be straight.
Right, the ACC
He might be
sucks,
straight.
bro. Terrible. I mean, SMU came to the ACC and won it, or went to the championship.
It's actually disgusting.
It took some straight strokes in the playoffs, but it's all right.
They was taking the strokes in the conference championship game too. I mean, they came back. Don't get me
But
wrong.
they was. Hey.
Clemson was putting straight belts in for 3 quarters.
Pulled it to the side.
Speaking of Clemson, before we move on to the association, you see Tom Allen, the DC on Penn State, took the DC job at Clemson.
I did see that. His press
How do you
conference was
feel
kinda
about
sad.
that? Because you go from an assistant coach position at a playoff school, a Final Four playoff school, to go to a different school that was in the playoffs for the same position. I feel like if you leave a position like that, it should be for head coach. But I get it. Clemson's I don't know.
No,
though,
you
actually.
hustling sideways. That's like
I don't
going to
know.
be the manager of Wendy's to go to manage Burger King down the road,
Right.
bro. Like,
They
I don't
must-
see-
Assistant manager, actually.
They must have offered him like a bigger bag or
Had to.
something. They had to because
Or
there's
Penn
just
State
no
told him to
way.
leave.
Like but it's like, why would they do that? Their defense was good, so it's like I refuse to believe that he just left just to like be a DC at Clinton. Like they had to give him the bigger bag because there's no way you do that to your family too. You gotta move them. Like, did you see that his press conference was kind of sad because he's talking about how like his daughters they cried when he told them they had to move. And, like,
Really?
that's one of the things that
They were
sucks.
there for a couple years. If that.
But like that's one of the things
They was
that
in
sucks about
Bloomington longer
coaching.
than State College.
So they probably cried for that too. They probably really cried for when he left Bloomington.
I'm doing.
Yeah, that's one thing
I
that
cried
sucks.
tears of joy when he left Bloomington. Because he was the only coach on that coaching staff that we kept.
Mm.
That was number one. I mean, not number one. Whoa, that was ranked with Michael Penix. Everybody else on that staff left, but a lot of them went to Washington and then followed the board to Alabama now. But Tom Allen stayed, and IU kept being ass. But we'll see how you do it, Clemson. But let's talk about the association, bro.
Yes, sir.
You know, you and I love to talk about the young stars of
Yeah.
the league. Who are we feeling like, okay, yeah, they've really taken a leap. And I'm going to get the obvious one out of the way. It's Paolo.
Paulo.
Y'all always go hear us talking about Paolo Banchero, bro. He's the perfect prototype for 2020's basketball.
Actually, you know, while we're on that point, I really believe we may have handed the conceptual keys to the league to Wemby too quickly.
Mhm.
Paolo Banchero, in my opinion, can go toe to toe with any young star in this league. And I like him more because of the versatility he offers. Wemby, I think, is going to be a little bit capped offensively. Because if he's not shooting the three ball at like an ungodly rate for a 7-footer, he's going to struggle on the block because he's not strong enough to consistently move someone unless he has truly a mismatch of a forward or a guard on him. And then he can't really drive well because he can't move nobody. So he's really settling for jumpers off the dribble. So that just puts a limit on how great he can be. But Paolo don't really have that. Paolo can shoot. Paolo can play make. He can play on and off ball. He can play next to talent. He can be the talent. Like, he's really
great rebounder, too.
Great rebounder. Great defender.
Yeah.
He is literally
all the tools. Great leader, too. Like, he has it all.
He's a 2K, like, build your player type of guy. Like, there are now, at this point in his career, no legitimate weaknesses. And I think it's more of a conversation between him and Ant. I know a lot of people may not want to hear this, but I would slot Wemby as third behind both of them. I think both of them are those type of guys. And the situation just for them hasn't finalized to a point where they can consistently win at the highest level. But I think that's going to happen very soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so happy he's back. I mean, in the 3 games he's been back, 34, 20, and 22.
Yeah.
And in all 3 games, he's 5 or more rebounds with it. I think I kind of have been thinking about this as I've been watching the past few days of NBA basketball. I watched the Kings game against the Rockets, the Thunder Cavs Part 2, which we can talk about a little later.
Yeah.
I kind of think this is about to be like an era of the league where there's no clear like head guy, no clear GOAT. You feel me? Like, we had Larry and Magic, we had Mike. Kobe's era is kind of disputed because, you know, some people say Tim Duncan. I mean, some even say Shaq.
Right.
I think Bron kind of has like made himself undisputed, but for a while there it was him or KD, and then I mean after Steph came in and started doing what he's doing, now it's between them 3.
Yeah.
But I feel like with this generation of hoopers, you can say Paolo, you can say Ant, you can say SGA.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, as we keep going, you can start to name more names. I mean, people like to throw Tatum in there. I don't know about all that. We got to see him without 4 other All-Stars.
I don't know.
Cade might be able to be thrown in there. Because, I mean, if you look at the stat comparisons between Cade and SGA, they're a lot more similar than people would like to think.
Bro, like, it actually pisses me off that Cade is not being talked about. He has this team over 500, and they are winning. They just went into the Garden and beat the Knicks on the road.
And was talking that the whole game.
Like, you just shout out to Bickerstaff as well. Like, can't let that go untalked about. But Cade Cunningham is one of those guys that just at every level he makes you a better player. He's shooting the ball well. His playmaking is so advanced. It's elite. He's got his skip passes. He can hit your roller at any time. Punishes the help. And I personally just love watching him hoop.
Yeah. Because it's ethical. High level.
So
moves.
ethical.
There's no foul baiting. He's not screen and roll reliant. He's you can ball him, you hoop.
Exactly. And I think the thing that amplifies that even more is you've got guys that are physical anomalies that go out and do that type of stuff. And it's like, okay, you are so physically gifted, you can just kind of overpower everything in your path. Cade's like 6'6". 6'6", he's not the strongest guy in the world, not the most athletic guy, but he knows his angles. He's clever. He got ball fakes. He's got good footwork. He can create separation. He got that. It's not really a push-off, but he got that little push-off in the mid-range, and I love that. And just watching him play the game is beautiful, dude. And I think you made the point last time. They got a young big in Jalen Duren who is very good. I'm definitely overlooked talking about Jalen Duren. Isaiah Stewart, he's drawn a lot of interest in trades. you've got some like raw young talent, but they shouldn't be 21 and 20.
Mhm.
Like this dude is putting on a masterful performance night in and night out, and I believe if he doesn't make an all-star roster, like it's actually a travesty.
Yeah, I think he's fifth
Okay.
right now
Mhm.
in the third East return. No, seventh. Wow, I don't know about all that.
Right.
That's crazy. LaMelo first. That's pure name right there.
It really is.
But we can get into All Star a little bit
Yeah.
later. Yeah, I like the way the league is trending with its young stars. I think, like I talked about last week, I mean, I think Bron, KD, Curry, James Harden, PG, Dame, that era,
Mhm.
like great hoops all around.
Yeah.
But the young stars are taking it over, and I
Yeah.
love to see it. Another one we haven't really talked about is Jalen Green. His last 5 games, especially, he's been averaging 32 points. And to begin the season, he and the Rockets as a team, but especially him, weren't shooting very well from the field. But
No. Awful.
he's starting to green those threes, and
Yeah.
I mean we've seen his athleticism,
Mm-hmm.
and he can really put the ball in the goal. I think he could be an offense this year. The West is pretty stacked, so it might be a little hard for him to make it, but I think he could be. And so that's just another one to talk about.
This is purely like my thought on this. I think it's so funny. Every time his name starts getting thrown in trade rumors, he start hooping.
Man,
Bro. You talk about Jimmy Butler, they talking about Jimmy Butler, De'Aaron Fox. He start dropping 30 balls, get efficient. I'm not saying I'm not trying to say anything about him as a hooper. I think he's a really good young player. And if he can turn into that guy for Houston, that's the only thing they're missing. Is like a consistent perimeter star. They got that, and I truly do believe they could go to battle with any team in the West.
yeah, because defensively the Rockets might be the best in the league. Because led by Amin Thompson. That's probably he's probably not the best defender in the NBA. I might throw Dyson Daniels right there for that one. But he's right there with him, honestly.
I love Amin Thompson, and there was while I was kind of doing a little research for the Rockets versus Boston game review, which by the way, go and check that out if you haven't. They said Udoka will visually glare at him and yell at him anytime he gets scored on. Like the expectation is for him to shut people down. No baskets get had on Amin Thompson.
Yeah.
And I just love that the bar is set so high for him because defensively he's just that good. He's insanely athletic. And he is a freaking amazing rebounder. For a guard.
What?
Like consistently you will see multiple nights he'll snag 15.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that's amazing. You throw him on anyone, and he's making their life difficult.
Yeah.
I think SGA is, at this point, truly an unguardable talent. But I would love to see A-Man get that assignment for a 7-game series.
Oh, yeah.
He's the type of guy like a Tony Allen back in the day.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to bring up.
You throw it on, he's going to junk the game up. Even on a guy like KD at the time. You throw Tony Allen on him, and all of a sudden, any given night, he could get the best of that matchup. He's that good on the defensive end.
Yeah. And, while we're talking about the Rockets, they really, like you said, they have all the tools. They just need that star to step up.
Yes.
Whether it's Jalen Green, whether it's Jabari Smith when he comes back,
Right.
or whether it's Alperen Sengun. They have, a roster top to bottom. They have the vet presence in Jeff Green, Steven Adams, and Fred VanVleet.
Yeah.
Great coaching in Udoka. They got scorers, and they have the defenders in Amin Thompson and Dylan Brooks. They have all the right tools. They're sitting at third in the West right now.
I wanted to ask you, bro. I was talking with some friends. What do you think? I know Kenny Atkinson is kind of like the clear front runner for Coach of the Year, right?
Yeah.
But he took that team from 4th to 1st. The Rockets were a play-in team last year, and now they are the 2nd in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
That's an absurd jump, and that doesn't happen very often. I don't think it should be a stretch at all for Ime Udoka to be firmly entrenched in Coach of the Year conversations.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think so, especially because I mean, he was almost pushed out of the league for
Literally.
off the court business in
Right.
Boston after he got them to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like you just said, I mean, it's the same with OKC last year. I mean, they gave it to Daigneault after the Thunder were a play-in team, and they went to number one and the best record in the league. I mean, the Rockets don't have the best record, but
Yeah.
they're top three.
Like, cheating on Nia Long is crazy, but, like,
Insane.
he's still no ball, bro. And he can coach a basketball team.
Yeah, I honestly would give it to him, too. Because, I mean, Atkinson, yeah, like you said, he went from fourth to first, which isn't really a drastic jump. But also, the Cavs had the same exact roster last year.
Yeah.
And, I mean, nothing really changed. They went to the playoffs last year, and they went to a 70-game series last year. So, and they did change their coach, but I don't think that was, like, really the needle mover. So, right now, I would probably go Ime if they don't give it. They go back to back, honestly.
I can see it.
Because the Thunder, bro, they're so dominant.
This is special.
Like, with or without Chet, with or without Hardenstein, they're dominant, bro. And SGA not only is a front runner for MVP, I think he's best player in the league. Now, that's very arguable. But
you know what, Darren? You cooking.
I think he might be, bro, because,
I
mean, we just saw it against the Cavs. He put up 40 in, like, 26 minutes. People like to throw out the free throw, foul baiter stuff. Like, I don't really like that either. But he's not as bad as a James Harden or a Luka or a Jalen Brunson. And, I mean, it's not like he's like how Jalen Brunson will literally get in front of you and then just stop.
Let's do mathematics. He drives the most out of anyone in the league per game. He's going to draw fouls. Like, that is just how statistics work. Statistics and probability. Like, that's just how that works.
Literally.
So, I don't, like, forget all that. Because let's talk about the mid-range then. Nobody's checking that. Dude's got a post game. He's knocking down threes off the bounce. And he's an elite defender. He's not a highlight defender. You know, he'll get you a steal or a block every now and then. He really sits. He switches. He plays off the ball.
No, I think he's top 3 in steals per game,
He
actually.
is. I think he's first.
Dyson.
I think it's okay. Dyson. No, you're right. So, yeah, like, the thing is, I think the most obvious threat to that claim is Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is Jokic don't play defense, and that's part of the reason why they aren't a top 3 seed in the end, albeit they're fourth. I get that. But, like, he contributes the most to their winning, but he's a massive reason why they are beatable at the very same time.
Yeah.
SGA doesn't contribute to you losing. Like, that's just not – he doesn't have a flaw like that. He can space, he can play off the ball, and he defends. He does everything as a teammate, and he can step back into more of a role when a guy like J-Dub is really hooping like that. So, I like SGA as the best guy in the league. I don't see any problem with that at all.
While we're on the West, bro, we've been talking about the top 3s and everything. Once again, the Western Conference is very competitive. Like, you have the clear front runner in the Thunder, but 2 through 5 are all within 2 or 3 games of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Who do we think is going to come out as second in that? Because we talk about the Rockets, they have all the tools. The Grizzlies, Ja Morant has been hooping.
Absolutely.
And he's been leading that team.
Yeah.
Jaren Jackson could very well be an all-star this year. He's been hooping. And it pains me to say, but Zach Edey is not a bust. He's proved to be a pretty good NBA center for them.
I hate
that. I think. I mean, we talk about the Nuggets. They're gonna have Jokic and Jamal Murray. They're always gonna be top 5. But the Clippers they've been better than I thought they'd be.
You saw what they did to the Nets the other night.
Oh my God!
69 points in a game.
Like, if that don't tell you need to sell the team, bro. the Brooklyn culture over there just sucks. Because did you see Ben Simmons and Bojan Bogdanovic are hurt, but they were sitting on the bench in front of two players that are actually playing in the game?
Nah, Josiah, I've said it before. I will
Worst
say
owner
it
in the league.
again.
One of.
He's an actual criminal. An actual criminal. He fumbled like 3 different eras of Nets basketball, single-handedly turned the Celtics into the most dominant superpower of this basketball generation. Is about to squander Cam Thomas. If I caught him in public, we might
And he
really
ruined
have
that
to fight.
big three of Kyrie, Harden, and KD. Like, that could have and should have won a ring. In 21, they should have beat the Bucks.
Instead of trying to like publicly humiliate Kyrie and punish him for fun in the media, why don't you just be a responsible owner and help try to incorporate him back into the team, help try to take care of your image, his image as well, and you probably would have won a chip that year and the years after that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's an idiot.
Yeah. Let's head out to the East. The Cavs still atop the conference, even though they just got thrashed by OKC. What was it, 40? They were up by like 30
Yeah.
something at a time.
Yeah.
Wow. They were hyping up this rematch so much, which rightfully so. I'm glad they are actually
Yes.
putting
Finally.
their energy into promoting that. But
Mhm.
man, for the Thunder to come out and do that to them. After the first game was cinematic.
Oh my goodness. That was a beautiful game of basketball.
Are we still feeling like the Cavs are contenders?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely
'Cause
contenders.
I know one game doesn't ruin it, but
It's just, I think the dynamic and the problem in that matchup is OKC literally didn't have their second best player. And on a night where SGA started I think it was like 6 of 18 or 6 of 15, something like that, started out really rough from the field. They clawed all night. It took 30 lead changes. It took the Cavs playing their absolute best basketball to go in there and get that dub without Chet. And then you come back a week later and you get 30 ball. Once Chet gets back,
yeah, it's going to get scary.
it's going to
It
get
already
really
is scary.
Yeah.
It's going to get even worse.
So, yeah, I still think they're contenders, but I think that just shows maybe right now how far OKC is ahead of the rest of the league.
Yeah.
And I'll throw Boston in there too. I think they're ahead of Boston right now.
I think so too because Boston's last 14 they're 7-7.
Yeah.
I think that's the worst during a 14-game stretch in Joe Mazzulla's head coaching career, which is
Shout
only
out to him.
3 or 4 years, but
Yeah.
still.
Shout out to him, man. He's been phenomenal since stepping up over there.
But it's weird because this is with the whole lineup.
Yeah.
This is with Porzingis being healthy, Tatum, Brown, Holiday, and Derek White all in the starting lineup. So it's weird to see that. But do we think it's still Boston's conference?
I'm going to say no. I don't think it's Boston's conference. And I'm just concerned because I think on the physicality side of things, I'm very concerned for them. Like, analytics-wise, we know they're going to get up a bunch of threes. They prioritize, like, all the mathematically correct shots, which I think is cool. I don't have a problem with that. But rebounding-wise, I feel like they could get out-muscled pretty often. If you put those smaller lineups at times with, like, Tatum playing a small ball 5, or even Horford now, who is aging and less athletic, it is easy to outpace them. You can outrun them. They are a bit of an older team, and they don't play with pace. They've got some good athletes, but they've also got guys that you can exploit in a one-on-one setting. I think Peyton Pritchard puts a lot of effort on the defensive end, but him, Hauser, Cornette, Horford, depending on the night, Kristaps, depending on the matchup, are all guys that you can go at and at times create good offense. And that's not to say that they're bad defenders, but they just have certain limitations in their game that create interesting style matchups. So I don't think this is going to be a case. I thought it was. After seeing that opening night dub, I was like, I think they've ascended to another level.
Yeah.
But in reality, like, that was OKC. OKC was the team that took that type of jump.
Mm-hmm.
But in this current moment, it's a 50-50 split between them and Cleveland right now, in my opinion. Whoever can stay healthiest, I think, can take that series.
I know Indiana is sitting at 6 right now, 23-19. But their last 15 games are 13-2.
Yeah.
I think 12-3 actually. They've gotten hot, especially to start 2025. I think 8-1. They only lost to the Cavs, who they beat also. Tyrese is actually playing aggressive now. Andrew Nembhard back in the lineup, so defensively they've gotten better.
Yeah.
Aaron Neesmith's back in the lineup now, so defensively they've gotten even better. Pascal Siakam's still doing what he does. And Miles Turner, he's still hooping. He just had 8 threes the other night against the Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
I think don't sleep on the Pacers. They're coming back.
Go get Cam Johnson. Do what you got to do. I feel like he is such a difference maker for them.
Think so?
I really believe that he's a piece that makes them able to compete with a team like Cleveland over 7 games. And it's not because he's a star, but he amplifies all of their issues and patches a few of their holes. Pause. But I just think stylistically he's a perfect addition to this team.
Think so? You see, when those rumors first started swirling, I was like, yeah, go get him. But I don't know. They started hooping really ever since then. Because I was thinking, yeah, I love Obi Toppin, but if you got to move him because Cam Johnson would come in and be a better defender than him. But outside of that, he doesn't really do anything Obi doesn't. They both shoot the ball well. They can both drive well. They both space the floor pretty well. But Cam is way better defender, I will say that.
Yeah, I like Obi, and I think Obi has like a really nice 1-to-1 fit with Tyrese. And it's also just entertaining. Like, the two of them on the court together is awesome. But Cam is going to give you the option. Like, let's say we're playing a team like Boston, and they keep playing pick and roll with Miles. Okay, we can sit Miles, have Pascal play the 5, and I can play Cam at the 4 and still feel comfortable defensively while not having to sacrifice shooting or offensive play. So I see what you're saying. You don't want to shake up a team that's starting to hit their stride. I get that. My only question is, do you think they have enough to go out and beat present Cleveland, present Boston?
Beat's a strong word, honestly, which is probably what would make them need to go get Cam Johnson because that might be able to take them over that hump. But I think they can compete with both.
Okay.
I mean, we saw it in the conference finals. It's basically both teams are the same,
right,
as they were in May or June or whatever. And it was a sweep, but it really wasn't.
To your credit, once again, it goes into, are you watching basketball? It was a sweep, but every game was competitive. Except for
Game 2.
Yeah.
Game 2 was bad. But besides that, Game 1, Pacers sold. The inbounds play was bad. Called a timeout. And then, after that, foul. I know, Jaylen Brown did get that shot off pretty quick, so it might have been hard to foul him without it being in the act of shooting, but that one was bad. And then Game 3, same thing. Pacers were up 20-something, and then let Boston come back. They got too complacent, and then Game 4 was just down to the wire. Boston's probably going to win that one most of the time, especially last year. But I think it's the same Pacers roster. They understand it now.
I understand it.
They got all the way to the ECF. People like to throw the injuries out there, but they were missing their second best scorer.
Yeah.
But now, not only have they played another half of a season together, but they've been through hardships. They've dealt with their own injuries. They've dealt with their own losses. They've dealt with their own hate. Tyrese hasn't played very well, but they bounced back.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they're 12-3 in the last 15, 8-1 in 2025.
Right.
So I think they can compete with Boston and Cleveland. I mean, they beat Cleveland without a second half of Hallie, and they competed with them without Hallie for a full game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another one where the box score, the final score is worse than the actual score because the Cavs didn't pull away till the last 2 minutes of the game. And that was after Benedict Mathurin got suspended for that boneheaded. But I don't even want to talk about that. So I feel like they can compete with the top teams in the East. I think some teams will definitely give them matchup problems though. But offensively, the Pacers can't compete with everybody.
I'm with you.
I have to see.
Yeah.
Other NBA news: Jimmy Butler playing tonight, Friday, at the time of this recording, after a 7-game suspension. But the stuff that's been coming out about the whole feud with them. Let me see. So, Jimmy Butler is just, part of me wants to feel like he's being a diva. Other part is like, the Miami front office has kind of been a little weird to him.
Mm-hmm.
They had an accounting error, and therefore he didn't get his money or something. That would have been like, okay, what y'all got going on here? But then also, he wanted them to make winning moves, and they brought in, I think, he was mad they brought in Thomas Bryant and somebody else. Which, hey, that's fine with me because Thomas Bryant came back to Indiana, and he's been hooping. He's been a pretty good backup center to Miles.
Jimmy really evil, bro. Like,
man,
not like obviously I'm joking a little bit, but I'm with you on that. I think it's the easy thing to call him a diva, but giving what he's given to that organization, dragging them to the finals twice, making them competitive when they didn't truly have another all-star next to him, I think he's got every right to demand more talent in there. And Pat Riley, he's supposed to be the Don of the NBA and all of this. Like, go get some talent, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you got LeBron, but we can't hang our hat on that forever. You got to go out and get somebody. And
he ain't even get Bron. D Wade went and got Bron.
Exactly. So, yeah, I just don't think Jimmy is all that wrong about it, but it's easy, obviously, to paint him in that light.
Yeah.
So,
it seems to me like it's a kind of a clash between two egos of the big personality of Pat Riley, like you said, and the big personality of Jimmy Butler,
right?
Which seemed like it was a pretty good relationship, but I mean, we've kind of seen it in the past with Pat Riley because he parted ways with Shaq, not cordially. He almost lost D Wade, unfortunately, and did eventually lose D Wade. So we've kind of seen this with Riley. I don't know. Do you think they'll end up trading Jimmy before the deadline?
Yeah, Jimmy's out there trolling. He had that one-legged corner three. I was like, okay, yeah, he's checked out. He's not really hooping right now.
He's not going to practices either.
No, and let's just be honest. Why would he? I don't want to be here. I'm not going to put my body on the line when I could have an extension coming up or a contract coming up someplace else. And I know I don't want to be a Miami Heat. I'm not going to put my body through this crazy Heat practice that y'all got going on all these nights and all the training that y'all do. I'm not going to do that. And so I understand that. Jimmy, protect yourself. Get your money. I just hope he finds somewhere that can allow him to play winning ball. And I do hope that they don't trade him to someplace like Washington or something like that. And, he playing bottom feeder basketball. Like, that's just not going to be fun to watch. So.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this all folds out.
Yeah.
But The final association news I want to talk about. LeBron's business partner and friend Maverick Carter
Mm-hmm.
is advising. There's a group of investors that want to raise $5 billion to start a new basketball league, 5v5 league. That would be international, and in their hopes, take over the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Which I kind of get it, but y'all not about to beat the league. Like the ABA came out in the '70s, and that was the last time that the league really faced a rival that could have competed with them, but eventually they just merged.
Let me play the flip side of the coin. I like it, and I think the timing on it is perfect. You've got NBA fans in an outrage about ratings, quality of basketball. So picking now to launch this, or at least talk about it, first excellent move. You have a chance to cater your rules. Another thing that's factored in with great timing, we just came off the Olympics. So a new batch of fans got a chance to see European rules, European physicality that typically we don't get in the league from a refereeing standpoint. And then also just rules that are actually different with, tipping the ball off the rim, those type of things. So he can actually be a part of presenting a new style of basketball to fans that might be more enjoyable. That isn't really even me agreeing with that point, but at least to what casual fans and media are complaining about, they can fine-tune their product to be just that. And it seems like they have it set up, they set like an F1 for basketball.
Yeah.
So having it move different spots overseas, I think that's a pretty cool concept.
It'd be men's and women's. It'd be 6 teams each.
I like that.
And they'd be playing around the world.
And then you don't get the burnout of maybe being like an NBA fan. You've got to keep up with all these games. Also, it's going to make it a lot easier to stream games, which is a very important factor. I think we counted, they were talking about like 12 different platforms to stream games off of.
Yeah.
So I just think this is a really good idea, and they're pitching it at the perfect time. At the end of the day, the NBA is the NBA. It's like WWE versus AEW. Like,
right.
It may look hot for a moment. Am I expecting the NBA to go down? No. But I do think strategically they picked the perfect time.
Mm-hmm.
And if they play things correctly, they could build something special here.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it plays out because, like you said, I'd be pretty interested to see just this league itself. To see 6 teams full of NBA and EuroLeague players playing against each other in like Madrid or something. That'd be very interesting, even though I'd have to watch it at 2 in the morning.
Right, yeah.
Men's and women's, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I kind of want it to take off, even though $5 billion.
Woo.
Jesus. Before we close out, there's a couple strides in women's sports I want to shout out. While we talk about a new league, Unrivaled just started today, which is the new 3v3 league featuring all WNBA players. It's pretty interesting. It's been pretty good hoops so far today, and
game started.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do kind of wish Caitlin opted to play in it, but
yeah,
I get it. I mean, she's been playing year round for
she need that break.
Couple years.
She need that break.
And then also, I mean, this is pro volleyball's 2nd season, but they're really taking off this year. So shout out them, Indy Ignite, first pro volleyball team in the state of Indiana.
That's
they 2-0 so far.
Yeah.
And in college basketball, Dawn Staley, man, probably one of the GOATs. I'm not gonna say the GOAT yet, because she's not Gino, but she just got 5-year, $25 million deal.
She deserves
richest deal in women's college basketball history. Shout out.
She deserves every penny of it.
In the last 4 years, they lost 3 games. And all 3 of those were close. And very meaningful games, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she deserves it.
She deserves it. Shout out to her for just building a culture over there. The defense is crazy. her basketball mind is wild.
Insane.
Like, took Caitlyn at the height of her powers and, like, really kind of neutralized her on a world stage.
Second time.
Second time, yeah.
First time, Caitlyn.
Caitlyn got it.
First time.
But, like, that's the beautiful thing about her mind. She's adapting.
Yeah.
And she...
On some Tony Stark. Yeah.
Really. Like, okay, you got me this time, but, like, I got you in straps. I understand it now. In 10 to 27... For, like, a lot of fans look at the game, oh, Caitlyn had 27 points. She took 27 shots, and she hit 10 of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so give Staley her credit. Phenomenal basketball mind. And, yeah, I love seeing her succeed, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
She might go down as the GOAT. She got to pass up Gino.
Yeah.
She low-key might have Tara Vandermeer, even though she has the most wins ever by men's or women's coach. And Pat Summit also up there, but I mean, we've seen what South Carolina's been doing ever since she took over the helm.
Exactly.
And then also the NCAA approved paying women's teams for making the national tournament, which they've been doing for men's teams for like 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that it took till now to do it, but I guess I'm happy they finally doing it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, bro, it's time. Like, I think these are all small things that we should be past by now. I know you probably saw it, but when, maybe it was during COVID or like shortly after when the women had their tournament, like the gift bags that all the players got, men and women were
the weight
trashed.
room.
The weight, like, they literally looked like a hotel weight room.
That's when it was here, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I'm like, bro, like, you've really got superstars.
I will say that was COVID, but still.
Even then, like, I'm a little disappointed in the
I feel
NCAA.
like I saw like a video of the men's versus the women's weight room.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, don't get me wrong. The men's was a billion times better. Unfortunately.
Food like dinner nasty.
Like,
Not even damn near.
so yeah, it's time for these type of things to be done on a consistent basis.
Well, that'll do it for season 5, episode 1. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. As always, keep up with our socials. We got our Colin Hatfield show dropping a new video every day.
Yeah.
All 365 days.
Yes,
so
sir.
keep up with that. I'm going to have a lot more content coming out this season. Hopefully, I need y'all to start bullying Coach G Money.
Yes, sir.
To make some content for y'all because
Bring back bullying.
G Money got a great football mind, man.
Sure
I need him
does.
to put it on video. So start bullying him. DM S.Garian on Instagram. Tell him to start making some content for y'all. But yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in, man.